Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Now here come the Saints, about to begin their first possession, and the man in charge of this offense, his 8th season now in the NFL, former #1 pick, Jameis Winston.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Winston. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Here's Winston. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive. Certainly not the start they were looking for offensively, coming off that loss last week on the road.
And they didn't do their job. They're going to feel poorly about that. But what they're going to do is look at the defense and say, can you pick us up here? And let's face it, defenses can score. We've seen it, right? They can take the ball away, create a big-time opportunity. Let's see if they can get that done.
Yeah, just something to jumpstart this home crowd. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. And as the Raiders take over on offense, we get to see the man who has been the leader of this team for 9 seasons now, under center Derek Carr.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 15 carries, 83 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
I know the speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To throw his Carr. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. The Raiders at 1-5, really struggling here to start the year. And they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
And far be it from me to go ahead and go gloom and doom, right? If they fall down 7-0, 14-0, all of a sudden the cycle starts all over again. So the best way out of this for them, they need something to happen positive early in this game. That's a great way to help break this losing skid.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy that can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Carr to throw for it on 4th down. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. So now following the roll of the dice, they've got a 1st and 10 inside the 35. Good footwork at the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the Saints' 28-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together. Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight, and that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. To throw, Winston. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Winston. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around. This is a quarterback that's already in the top 100 all-time in passing yards, but that last throw going to move him past Roger Staubach on the all-time list. Roger Charles at 22,700. Don't forget, he also won 2 Super Bowls, played from 1969 to 1979. And I would dare say Roger's numbers would be larger. But remember, he had a commitment to the Navy. A graduate of the Naval Academy. Back then, you had to serve your 5-year hitch before you could go on and join the NFL. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done. Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Winston. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. And they'll be stopped at the 28. On a play that started at the 14, they pick up 14. Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage. And that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area. So you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place. And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt. Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game. And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks will tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take,
punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now Carr. That one into the hands of Adams downfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 39 yards there, a big one.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just help receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Down inside the 40.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. 52 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Carr. And the pass complete to Waller on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Carr finding Waller there for the Vegas first.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline. But what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. And his throw here's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. Well, a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs, and he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Raiders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack. And you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line. And he's able to take it into the end zone.
Carlson on for the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game.
Makes the score.
So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Some more great football coming your way in prime time to wrap up the month of October. It starts tonight. Could it be a Super Bowl preview? The Packers and Bills from Buffalo at 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow, Halloween night, Monday Night Football, the Bengals and Browns from Cleveland. And how this game has changed in importance in recent years. That starts at 8:15 Eastern.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw is Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Winston. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Again, it's Winston. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, good work in that first half. More from you guys in a minute. But first, let's get to some scores right here on the day before Halloween. We'll begin across the Atlantic at venerable Wembley Stadium in London, where it was the Jaguars who pick up the win at home. Trevor Lawrence, strong in the victory, as his guys up their mark to 6-2 on the year. From there, we head south to Texas to check on the Cowboys at home at AT&T Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. Kiki Cutie, a touchdown reception. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they've got the lead at halftime over the visiting Carolina Panthers. The Falcons trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it.
Well, I know we hold off on the halftime update after all. Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They've dropped 5 straight coming in, so right now cherishing this lead. And they've got the football as well, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Carr. Flushed out right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. They'll get 5 out of the scramble and hit 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
From the 29, Carr. And his throw is incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Here's Carr to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown. Davante Adams. His first touchdown on the year. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And it's 21-3. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And Davante Adams able to finish things with a touchdown reception.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line.
He'll start with a give to Kamara.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Jonathan Hankins on the tackle.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Jameis to throw it. And he's got the hook up. And oh, he coughed it up. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Jacobs now. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time. Forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Now a carry for Jacobs. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
They'll hold everything because Darren Waller, the tight end, appears to be injured on that play.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Here's Jacobs. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
Now White lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return. And a Saint touchdown.
his hands. They're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Previous play is under review.
Well, the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After reviewing the play, ruling on the field is
so that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Going on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. The kick by Carlson is good. And the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now he's forced out right. And he'll find Hall. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. From the gun, Winston. Buying time to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. In that time for the sack, say hello to Chandler Jones.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is caught. It's Hardy. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
A running room for Kamara on 1st down as he takes us forward. It's a gain of 7 there on 1st down. 2nd and 3 coming up.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run it again with Kamara. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On 3rd down, Winston.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Second down, Jacobs once more. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. 101 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Carr now on 1st down. Throw right side into the hands of Foster Moreau. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. It's a room to maneuver. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints' 32-yard line.
Holding offense.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Here's A.J. Cole now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job. Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
That's good for a Saints. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Now Winston. And the Raiders have got him. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Winston. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Winston. Shakes off the sack, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Here's Winston. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. That's complete to Troutman, right side. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Steps away to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Bilal Nichols in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Winston now. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal. Working out of the gun, Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin 4th quarter, you're going. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Lutz for the extra point. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Once again, it's Jacobs. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
This set of downs started. They need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Winston readies the offense. Down by 2 touchdowns. Less than 90 seconds to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. It's complete. Kamara. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston back to Kamara for another catch. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A 1st down throw for Winston.
That's good for a Saints.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Winston.
Open man is the tight end Troutman.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
He'll get this to his tight end Troutman. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston being chased out left. Going deep here for Landry.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Again, it's Winston. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Duron Harmon.
And the Raiders come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders.
And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for Las Vegas,
it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town.